NBA fans, I'm confused. I thought that this is what you wanted. What the Oklahoma City Thunder have done this season, what they have done over the course of these past 5 years or so, I was told that this is what you wanted. And yet now that the Oklahoma City Thunder are in the finals and that Shai Gilgeous-Alexander has won MVP, it seems to be a problem. And I'm confused. So I'm just here to remind you of what they do being what you wanted. Let's start. We'll get to Shai as an individual player. Let's talk about the team. You were tired of super teams. That's not what this team is. Not yet, anyways. Maybe. This is a team top to bottom built to be successful. With only 2 real free agent additions. And over the course of this entire build, truly. And what now makes this championship team what it is, Alex Caruso and Isaiah Hartenstein. Obviously a trade for Caruso, signing for Hartenstein. This is a team that is about as naturally built as you will find, period. Let alone a team that is now in the NBA Finals and is likely to be the favorite to win the NBA championship. You were tired of super teams. And you can't go and call this team a super team now. People were questioning if Jalen Williams was even a true number 2 just this playoffs a couple weeks ago in that Denver series. Chet Holmgren is now growing into what he can be. Now, is this team going to be good enough to be a super team and to be that? Are they already? Maybe. But in what has been deemed a super team in years past, a collection of players, right? To me, the Warriors in 2016 were incredibly well built. And all those years that came, and then Kevin Durant came, and that's when the villain arc truly started. There is no villain arc here. The Thunder should be the heroes. But they're not. And that is so incredibly interesting to me because what else do? They play defense. They play defense at a level that we've barely seen ever in history, let alone in recent years. The way that this team defends, the way they rotate, the way they switch, the way that their hands stay active, the way they can test vertically, that's not seen in the NBA. And I was told that's what we needed in the NBA. Were teams willing to play defense, and you go top to bottom on this roster, every single player is willing to play defense. You have about 5 defenders on this team where if you will go and put them on another team, they are the best defender. Caruso, you have Chet, you have Cason Wallace, you have Lou Dort, you have all, and that's not even getting into Shai, Jada, like the switchability of a Kenrich Williams, Aaron Wiggins, top to bottom. This team wants to defend. The turnover differential has been arguably the most key factor into them being how good that they have been. But seemingly, this team isn't what you wanted. And frankly, I can't decipher why. Because after all these years, you have a team with personality. You have a team with depth. You have a team that was naturally built. You have a team that defends. You have a team with a superstar. But it's still not clicking. Let's talk about that superstar. Let's talk about the MVP. Let's talk about the Western Conference Finals MVP. Let's talk about Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. Because it's so interesting to me that you can watch what he does and only think about free throws. And if you care enough to actually listen and hear out the kind of dissection, if you will, of the free throw merchant agenda, there's plenty of stats out there. I'm not going to even get into all that. And frankly, it didn't even really bother me all that much when it's just social media talk, because it happens. Jokes, trends, whatever. It's NBA Twitter. And I love it. I love it to death. When it gets into the broadcast, that's when it gets interesting to me. when it gets into, we're in the middle of a game and we're talking about a free throw merchant trend, or if we're on an ESPN show and we're talking about free throw merchant in that way, that's what I don't understand. Because Shai Gilgeous-Alexander is the exact superstar that you should want. That's at least from what I've been told, from what people miss about past eras of basketball. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander is that player. Not completely homegrown, right? Obviously has the tenure in Los Angeles, but just about homegrown in Oklahoma City. Shoots the mid-range at a clip that we haven't seen in years in terms of just getting to your spot, walking you down, and making a midi in your eye, and there's nothing you can do about it. You have the fact that he's willing to play defense, because not every superstar is willing to do that, and that has been a critique. So he falls in line with the rest of this team of, yes, they are willing to defend and do it at an incredibly high level. So what else? What else is interesting to me about this? Well, you take those things, right? As it grew and stuck with the franchise. Shoots the mid-range at a high rate. Willing to defend, and is a very good defender at that, even though I think that gets kind of muddied up with how many good defenders are on this team, but that's a different point. This all applies to Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. But to me, it applies to somebody else too. Kobe Bryant. And everyone loves Kobe. Everyone loves Kobe. He's one of the best. Everyone wants to give out these Mamba nicknames. Everyone is looking for the next Kobe. Whether it's a mentality aspect, whether it's a game aspect, he's right here. And all you're doing is calling him a free throw merchant. I cannot comprehend watching this Oklahoma City Thunder team, watching Shai Gilgeous-Alexander operate, and that is what your takeaway is. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander has the ball in his hands so much. It has a fantastic assist-turnover ratio. Gets to, you know where Shai is going. To a point. Because when he gets to wherever that is, when he gets to that elbow area, or that baseline, he has about 17 counters that he can use on you. But doesn't that sound familiar too? A counter for your counter? A counter for that counter? I cannot comprehend that people cannot see that Shai Gilgeous-Alexander is exactly the superstar that they have been asking for, begging for. You wanted this. And it's here. And it's the MVP. And he's in the NBA Finals. And he's leading a young team that can go and do this for years on end. There's no sight of regression. Theoretically, this should be the worst that the Oklahoma City Thunder are. All these players are here for the long haul. So you have a team with personality. You have a team that doesn't super heavily rely on the three. You have a team that is willing to defend. You have a superstar that kills you and walks you down in the mid-range. This is what you asked for. And it's not being appreciated in the way that it should. Even with the amount of wins that they had. Even with being favored in whoever they end up playing in the NBA Finals, as I'm recording this before Game 5 of the Eastern Conference Finals. No matter who it is, they're going to be favored. And yet the respect still hasn't been enough. The appreciation still hasn't been enough. Because ultimately, this is what you wanted. This is what you asked for. And Sam Presti, Mark Daigneault, SGA, and the rest of the Oklahoma City Thunder organization answered and gave you exactly what you wanted.